Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Rising. This is Adashina Shindara, Lady Indigo of Indigo Rising, Healing Through Wholeness, opening this space in our sacred virtual sister circle, giving thanks to the Most High, source of life, energy that resides in all of us, that is us. Over the space to our ancestors, angels, and guides, thanking them for all that they do, thanking them for being ever present, thanking them for the nudges and the encouragement that they give us through messages and synchronicities and just whispering in our ears when it's time to move, when it's time to to do, or when we just need to just be, just stand in it, sit in it, feel it, and then to let it go. We give thanks on this morning for sisterhood. That is our theme this morning, sisterhood. And just affirming in each and every one of us that we're beautiful, that you're seen, that you're heard, and that you're valuable. So with that, just give thanks and we open the circle. So we take our minds towards the spiritual fire. Go over to the circle. Ashe. Ashe. All right, lady. Ooh, I think I'm a little sleepy too.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the invitation. The graphic for today. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Look at that. Can y'all see that?
Yes. Beautiful. I love it.
When I saw that, I said, oh my gosh, this is sisterhood right here. This is going back to a time when people didn't say, oh, I don't mess with, I don't have no women friends. I don't trust no women friends.
Mm-hmm.
We heard that a lot growing up, and may even have said it ourselves once or twice. I don't trust no woman. I've been betrayed and this and this or that, or blah, blah, blah. Whatever your reasoning was, you decided that being a friend to another woman was not safe. It was not good. It was not necessary. So we welcome this morning the opposite of that, outside of survival mode and outside of being skeptical and cynical, and what's the other word? Just being suspicious,
Yeah.
of women, because we surely need each other. There's so much healing that goes on in the presence of women, the way we affirm each other, the way we, speak life to each other, the way we rally around each other when there's a need, when there's a loss, when there's some confusion or some uncertainty, we show up. I said before, I have three sisters. I come from a space of loving women. I think I was born to be a friend to women. I've never had any difficulties being in relationship with women. And I'm grateful. I would sit at my grandmother's feet. I would was always with my mother. I loved my great aunt. I loved um, meeting and sitting and listening and encouraging and being encouraged by women. Every place I've ever been, I've resided in my life, I've met a strong circle of women, whether it was in the church or um, around a sport that either myself or my kids were participating in. Um, I have some relationships that last from 9 years old. So I give thanks to friendship, sisterhood, womanhood this morning. And that's what I wanted to talk about, the power of sisterhood. Seeing, just giving that hug, just knowing that you're right there. And it's so the opposite of what a lot of women tell me as I'm getting to know them, that they're not, they just don't feel safe in the presence of women. And a lot of it is not necessarily what has happened to them, but it's what they were taught and socialized to think about a group of women, which undermines the power that's generated when two or more gather. I mean, oh my gosh, when two or more women gather and begin to encourage one another, begin to pray with and for one another, begin to speak life into your family, your children, your spouse, your community. Oh my goodness, there's some sort of energy that's ignited, that's powerful. The emotion that's evoked when women are together, when we are supporting an idea. I mean, creating an energetic, emotionally charged environment to beckon forth a manifestation is easy when you have a sister that is right there with you. And she says, girl, we're going to do this. We're going to lose those 10 pounds. We're going we gonna tie together. We're going to make sure that we're accountable, that we show up. You know, girl, I see you. You looking beautiful today. Lift your head. Or where you at? I haven't seen you in a long time. What you need? I just wanted to check in on you. Something about a check-in from your homegirl, from your sister. I'm saying all these things, and it just reminds me of how beautiful it is. My relationship with my biological sisters, as well as the relationship I have with my friends, my sisters from the community, my mother from the community, even in spaces where you wouldn't think you would create bonds that I know will last. Um, Sisterhood is amazing, and it starts with each and every one of us. It's not something that is, it just pops in and it just naturally is. No, we come to the space in anticipation of having an amazing time. You know, whether it's a phone call or you're going over to visit, a sibling or something, or you're just hanging out with your girlfriends. There's an anticipation and an expectation of having a beautiful time. And that is amplified when you're moving in your most authentic energy, when there's no undelivered communications, when you're not moving in envy or strife or uh, some sort of undercurrent of mistrust or fear. But when you are showing up open, ready to enjoy, ready to deposit your true self, there's magic that goes on. And that's just the inspiration. Everything that I said, there's an inspiration that I get from looking at this picture. I mean, I've cried with women that I don't even know. I have sat and immediately our energies were drawn and I supported, I touched and I agreed. You know, I held space and it was one of the most natural, enjoyable things for me to do. I felt like I'm in the right place. I'm doing the right things. That's sisterhood. And that's what we've created in this space on this call every Wednesday morning. We carry it outside of this call. We're learning to appreciate one another and stand in a space of awe and just adornment, adoring each other. That's the word I want to use, right? As opposed to standing in judgment, tearing each other down with our words, um, looking through one another, looking for fault. And I'm grateful that there has been an evolution of our minds. Because I don't know how many women in my lifetime I have um, crossed paths with, and I come in love, and they're so fearful. Their whole aura is sarcasm and suspicion. And I give thanks for the training that I've been given as a little girl, sitting at the feet of women and just learning to accept each other for who we are, learning to see the beauty in each and every one of us and being vulnerable in a space. And then I was given 3 daughters. So it was another opportunity to learn myself and to work out some of my insecurities and some of my kinks around relationship with women. Even though I was made for that, I don't think I was perfect in it. But I had to have some discipline. I had to learn how to apologize. I had to learn how not to gossip. I had to learn how to really um, see the value in each and every person and what they bring and who they are at that moment. And so I'm grateful. And saying all of that and kind of setting the stage of sisterhood, of sisterly love, of magical, creative spaces, high vibrating individuals, emotionally charged spaces and places. We give honor to sisterhood. And I just want to open the floor to anyone who wants. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Ashe.
Ashe. So is there anyone who wants to deposit what their heart is
Good
saying?
morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning.
Absolutely. I concur with everything you said. Growing up, I sat under my granddaddy's sisters and I sat at their feet and I gleaned from them. I learned. My grandmother, I loved, really one of them was my great grandmother, my dad's grandmother who raised him. I just love them dearly. And my girlfriend's mother, just gleaned from these women. And then when I went to Los Angeles and a church I belonged to, these were beautiful, elegant, saved women that had means and finances, that were in management. Beautiful, beautiful women. I was in my 30s, they were in their 50s, and then they were in their 70s, and two of them just passed away here recently. And I mean, I wept because they were gone, but they were such a blessing to us. And I've always had very, very positive with sisters and women. And I've similar to you, I've met women and I've they were going through things I didn't even know them. And I said, "Do you mind if I pray with you or pray for you?" And they have said absolutely. And I prayed for women who I didn't even know. And I've just always had a heart for women because I've always been single. And I my prayer for single women was or is for us to get our finances together and to depend on ourselves. And I would love a spouse, but I'd never had one. But
Mm,
not even, I mean, if you have one, wonderful. But if you don't have one, don't let that hold you back. I've
mm.
probably own three houses, you know, and with the goodness of God and the grace of God, I did it. Sometimes women, if they don't have that mate, they walk in fear. They're afraid to do. And I made plenty of mistakes. I don't want to dwell on those, but I still stepped out there and did what I did. And it was because of just encouragement from women and encouragement from God, a higher power. So
Mm.
I have just had and I sometimes I do hear sisters that talk about the negative experience that they've had with women, but that has not been my experience. It has been very, very positive with sisters and cousins and older women and women in a leadership role. Just a beautiful, beautiful experience. And I thank God for that. Having those aunties and cousins and women that were in leadership that wanted to uh, put into my life. And my mother who just she'll be 94 tomorrow. Yeah,
Oh,
the 16th of May, she will be 94 if God says the same. And I'm just so grateful to be here with her and to just, be able to bless her and take care of her as she did for us when we were little kids. And my sister Loretha is still in Los Angeles with her
come on.
family, having a wonderful time, letting her
Good.
daughter and her granddaughters just bless her, which that was so needed. And they took her to Vegas, and I guess she's sleeping in this morning. Last week she couldn't get on the call. She said for some reason she couldn't get on, but just grateful. God is so good, and I'm thankful, 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 and thankful for the group of sisters here that this is so positive. Because recently I've been in some group of I hate to bring up negativity, but
Let's
the
not.
sorority
Let's
group.
not. Let's not. Let's not.
Okay, 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 okay. I
This,
won't. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me
yeah,
on the straight path. I've
yeah.
had so many, I'm not going to talk about the negative, so many good, good, good blessings and positive. And then this is so positive. This is just wonderful. I look
I,
forward to it. And I almost forgot because I got busy. Didn't get on the call, but I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you
gosh,
for letting me share. Thank you for keeping me positive because I can go down the rabbit hole. But thank
we
you.
love you, Lena. Thank you for your energy this morning. Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
words of affirmation on our sisterhood and on being a woman. Who else is out there? Come on, bring it into the
I,
space.
let me say this, Adeshina.
Come
Like
on.
you, I come from a family of women. My mother is one of six. She's the eldest. So I'm the youngest of the eldest. I've always been at the foot of women. Every
Mhm.
week, every holiday, every get together, we babysat all of our aunt's children. So I've always been around women my entire life. I am blessed to carry my grandmother's name, both
Gosh,
of them, Susie and Anita. That's why my name is Sunita.
Awesome.
My grandmothers were my best friends. That's who I hung out with. That's who I spent my time with. My great aunts dressed me up like a Barbie doll and sat me on the couch and took pictures of me. Talk about my Aunt Cat.
Awesome.
I got pictures of me as a baby sitting on the couch with white dolls on either side of me. Yes. So from there, all my life, I've always gravitated towards having some women in my life in some way, all of my life. So I've always been a sister, and I will always be my sister's keeper, just like you
Ashe.
and everyone on this call.
Ashe.
So that's what I see in that picture. I'm with my sisters, and I'm gonna keep her safe, steady, supported, and protected.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that, sis. Thank you for your energy. Anyone else?
Yes. So I had the same similar experience too. I have 4 sisters and um, um a slew of aunties, and now I got nieces, and I have 3 daughters. I have a granddaughter.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, excuse me.
So yeah, so we just a woman dominated family. And it's always a good time. It's always
Mm-hmm.
laughter and love, and you always feel like you have someone you can talk to. It's
Mm-hmm.
never you never feel a sense of isolation. Sometimes it feels like
Hello?
know, it's it does
Uh-oh.
come from a place of love. Um, can you hear me okay?
You started to robot
Uh-oh.
out
It's
there.
out.
You're roboting out. But keep trying. Let me keep
Okay.
trying. There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Okay. Can you
I can. Yep, you're roboting out, my love.
hear me there?
Yeah, but that's okay because I want to tell you, you carry a strong sisterhood energy. Um, this weekend, I was blessed to be in Dria's presence at a bailout, a Mother's Day bailout brunch, and she hugged me, and the energy of the sincerity of love and just openness was amazing. And I just want to tell you that just the love that you gave to me in your words and really more so your hug really settled some things in me. And so I just thank you for your presence. I thank you for your friendship. I thank you for your sisterhood. I thank you for the words of affirmation that you always pour into me. Um, I thank you for just holding space and believing in the work that I do and encouraging me in that space. So I just want to pour that back into you as a mirror of who you are and how you walk in such a regal way. And I love you. And I thank you for being my sister. Um, Anyone else want to speak to this point? I'm not sure who all is on the call, so I'm fixing to
Good
unshare.
morning. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yay, my computer is working this week. This is Sherry, and when I look at this picture, it reminds me of that scene in The Color Purple with
Mm-hmm.
Nettie and Steely. And it reminds me of my sister Sonia and I. And it's like, what, no matter what happens, we always have each other's backs. And then, just like that. And then, so when I saw that, when you sent that last night, I saw it and I was like, oh. But also with that, I have a very strong sister support. This sister circle, other groups of women that I belong to, friends that I've been friends with for like almost 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Always just so supportive, and and our family, or my family, is very, very strong in womanhood. We have probably maybe 4 guys that are now like grandkids, but in my cousins and we were all raised like sisters, all stair step in age, one after the other. So um being a part of a sister group is so important to me. I always, I need that support. Sometimes I, get a little down on myself, but I can always reach out to, my natural sisters, my sister circles, to always get the uplifting and encouragement that I need. So I love
Mm-hmm.
my sisters.
Ashe. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. We love you too. And we love the fact that you've been such a consistent space, holding space and energy in the room. And we love it. Thank you so much. And thank you again, Sherry, for being a beautiful friend. Over the years, our relationship has grown stronger, and I appreciate you so much. And your heart is so tender. My sis will cry. Don't let the wind blow on Sherry. She will cry. She's so tender.
Stop it. I just a little sensitive. My emotions are on my sleeve, but
Look,
you know,
I didn't say sensitive. I did not say sensitive. I said tender. Did not say
okay.
tender.
Okay. I love that. Thank you. Thank
She
you.
has a tender heart. I mean, really, a tender heart. I would not call her. It's nothing negative. It's beautiful that her tears flow freely, and that she's able to cleanse herself and able to create an environment of support, of cleansing, of empathy, right? We have to protect her so that she doesn't absorb others' energy, and she has to learn how to release it out of her body. But her heart is so tender and it's so beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else want to speak to the video? I mean, excuse me, the video, Lord. Claude, have mercy. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning.
Good morning. We had up did you see the invitation this morning?
I did not.
Okay, I'm gonna put it back up. Hold on. So you can see it, and we're just commenting on where this beautiful graphic has taken us. There we are. Sisterhood. Sisterhood. I also wanted to really talk about this too. I made a video on Sunday and I touched on it just a little bit, but growing up, my kids always said that they took Kanye's line and they were like, "Oh yeah, we got an auntie team," because there was always women around me, no matter where we moved to. Um, there were women that just added to the circle of love. I never had to fear having to work because there was somebody that was going to pick up my babies from school. Somebody was going to feed them a meal. Somebody was going to hold them in their arms. And I had, of course, my biological sisters, but I had sisters that were on my job and sisters that, were in the organizations that I was in. There were my neighbors, and I really had a positive environment. Um, the woman who did my hair, um, I just was blessed. I was blessed immensely. And those times that were so dark and so uncertain, there was somebody there to say, "Girl, did you eat? Get up. You need to take a shower. What's going on? What's going on with your hair? What? Girl, come on. you know who you are. They always reminded me who I was. They always did, and they always reminded me that I was a waymaker, I was a mover, I was a shaker. And they did not let me lay on the bottom of the ocean too long. You know, they would check in on me and they'd say, okay, feel it, get through. Okay, now it's time to get up, pick yourself up, or what the hell you doing? That ain't even you. They would remind me of who I was. And that is something that you cannot pay for that. You cannot. They would suck it up. Yeah, that's life. Let's go. You got 3 babies that need you. It ain't worth it. And I am so grateful. Yes, for the young women, for the old women, for the in-between women, for the Black women, for the white women, for the Mexican women that brought me tacos and enchiladas and all of that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about anything other than the kinship of the power of the feminine divine. And when I became a sacred woman, I learned about my womanhood on a whole nother level. And the gateways that are inside of me. And I began to go into those spaces and those places inside of me and learn to listen to my voice, my own voice. I learned to hear my womb, my most creative space, my center. I learned how I was storing pain and all types of things inside of me. And my womb was crying out because I was being misused and I was misusing myself. And I was allowing things to happen out of fear and insecurity. And I was not standing in my divine power. I wasn't treating my temple with love. I wasn't speaking to myself in love. I wasn't depositing and pouring into myself and having a great relationship with myself. I was looking for outside validation. I wasn't grounded to Mama Earth. I wasn't, there was just so many things that when I went inside of me, I began to see. And then I had even a greater appreciation for myself and again, other women. Being aware of where my tongue was cutting and hurting and saying things that were really reflective of how I felt, but I was projecting, how I was feeling insecure in spaces and acting as if I was the victim, but it was really me perpetuating a feeling, an insecurity. And so learning that I was bringing the funk to the party and beginning to work with that, again, new relationships opened up. I was able to create safe spaces. I was able to support others when they created safe spaces and sit in and know that it's not always about me. Last night, my daughter was over and I was sitting in my chair and she sat behind me and she just began to comb my hair. And that was one of the most precious spaces for me. And I sat there and I thought about my mother and I thought about when I used to, scratch her scalp and, pick her chin and I could smell her skin. She always smelled so clean. And I thought, we only have so much time in these assignments of who we are to spend time, to love on each other, to really enjoy one another. And I was so grateful for that relationship. And just how she put my hair in the little ponytails and just the gentleness of her hand, her touch on my head. And she just soothed me so. And I remember being her behind my mother, behind my grandmother, behind my auntie, behind my sister, behind my friend. And I was like, wow, I love this. I love her. I love me. I love the sisterhood, the community of women. And you're right, this does remind me of The Color Purple. And Nettie and Celie, they were the epitome of sisterhood. No matter how far, no matter if we talk every day or not, I'm gonna hold space for you even if you can't hear me. I'm gonna say a prayer and send you love. When I do see you, I'm gonna feed you a good meal. Thank you for allowing me to vent. Thank you. Thank you. And with that, let's just take a deep breath in through our nose and release it. Just basking in this love. And with our third eye, just allowing ourselves to see the brightness, the fullness of love through sisterhood. Being seen, being heard, wiping tears, encouraging tears, propping each other up, giving one another a reality check. Just the love. Love is it is. It is. It's all about love. It's all about love. And when we love ourselves, when we can fully accept ourselves, all the isms and schisms and everything about us, everything, my crooked tooth and my crooked finger, or whatever, you know, the grays that are in here, the fact that at 57, I look nothing like I did at 27. Just accept that I've loved and I've lost. I've created. I've made it. Some things I fumble. Oh my God, some things I fumble terribly. And when I can accept those things in me, the humanity of being in me, I can extend grace to you, to my family, to my coworkers that just seem to be clueless, to my boss that I've already deemed incapable, to my neighbor who is lost in their world, to my children who are going through their process.
to my mother, who did the very best she could with what she had, to my father, who taught out of his pain and fear, and that was the best that he had. And he gave it with his whole heart. I give thanks. I give thanks, new mercies every day, for forgiveness, for freedom, for being vulnerable, for those stony places in me breaking down, opening up, setting me free. No longer do I feel the need to build the walls. That's not freedom, but to let them down, to soar. And just my presence of doing that, and our presence of being that, encourages someone else to let go of the anger, of the rage, of the pain, of the betrayal, the distrust, the suspicion, the foul words, the gossiping. And just let that go. And feel the weight rise off of them. Most of the time we find that buoyancy where? In the presence of our sisters, our girlfriends. We've experienced beautiful things traveling, reading, writing, creating in the presence of other women. When I say that, my mind just soars over my lifetime and all the things I've done and all the places I've gone and those times of giggling and laughing that you can't even breathe. You're laughing so hard. And then those times of crying where you can't stop crying and you just laid out crying. And it's like the most extreme energies we have created with one another. That's beautiful. That's real. We have been silent and silently held space for some people to move out of spaces that were so confining and so that didn't honor them. And we couldn't use our voice. Our voice was not permitted because we couldn't tell them what to do. We could just hold that space in love, not in judgment, but in love, knowing she can make it. She gonna be all right. She gonna see. It's gonna be all right, girl. Your foot is gonna hold.
That's a witness.
Come on in, Sister Dharma.
Oh, good morning, everyone. I thought I come from a large line of women. My grandmother had 14 children, and 8 of them were girls. So I had lots of aunties and lots of cousins. And I'm the oldest of 8, 3 sisters. One of my 6 sisters are deceased. I'm close to my other sisters. We conversate and I absorb a lot of, their energies because being the oldest, you have to you're the peacemaker, more or less.
Mhm.
So, and I was blessed to be part of, the Grace of God movement. with 3HO, Happy, Holy, Healthy Organization. And we were the only all-black ashram
Mm.
in Los Angeles on Broadway Street. And that experience followed me all my life as a yogi.
Mm.
And being part of this circle really puts me back in the same kind of space, you know, where happy, holy, healthy space. And just understanding, as you say, who you are, and only have so many days and hours on this earth to do the best and be the best. And thinking about all the good things our family gave to us and did for us to make us who we are. And to really honor that. That is really our foundation. What others did for us, not and how we learn to give back as we go along, as we live.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm just very, very glad. I still have half the night to wake up to be part of this circle, and I'm committed to it. And I really love hearing positive energy coming from my sisters. It's something you don't find everywhere. It's, you know, it's truly celestial. And I'm just glad to be a part of something great.
Ashe.
So I can better my condition as a human. Because you really need positive enforcement. And I didn't really have that when I was a young mother. But my parents were always there. But, you know, when you're a young mother, the fun is over. The work is in.
Mm.
Work begins and the work never ends.
Ashe.
So keep on living and giving, and loving and appreciating, being the best human you can be.
Ashe. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Your energy. Thank you. Yeah. I'm so grateful for the space. I'm grateful for each and every woman that makes her way to the space. You know, when I was in the church, they say, push, what to say, pressing their way forward. But this is a place where we don't have to press. We are so excited to be here and have a opportunity to deposit in the space. And I just love that each voice that comes on is so bold and proud to speak. And we're all different. And what makes it even better is as we come from different experiences and we have different paths, and it's just beautiful. The bouquet of flowers that is represented here. And it's interchangeable every week. We don't know who's going to be on, but whatever sister comes on brings such a beautiful sense of womanhood, of, of divinity, of realness, even if she's just listening, trying to find out what this thing is all about. I think the energy of the circle draws her to put down her defenses and really feel safe around the spiritual fire. So today I just want to continue to lift up our sisters, each one that's on the list of now 180, about 183 women that get the Evite every Tuesday evening. We have a steady, usually between 9 and 12 women that show up, and we hold space for the women who are in the midst of whatever, who are going through. And we know just by the testimonies that are shared every week that the universe, God, source, our own Ori, spirit is moving and conspiring for us to win, teaching us to let go of those things that are not serving us, let go of the stronghold of control that so many of us move in out of fear, just to chip away at that and allow ourselves to smile and feel again. Allow ourselves to require that our needs be heard and met. Giving ourselves permission to be happy and to do the things that are good for us, even when we're afraid. We're walking forward, even when we don't see the end. We're trusting. And the bonus is not only do we have a spiritual entourage that's protecting us and working on our behalf, but we have this awesome community of sisters, of women. And I'm not taking anything away from our men and the masculine energy that is around us. But today we're honoring ourselves. We're honoring showing up for ourselves. We're honoring pouring into ourselves. We're honoring laughter and love and hope and togetherness. And what I love is, I remember when we used to open, we would release those things that we didn't want in the space. We would start out releasing fear and anxiety and bitterness and we used to do so much in the beginning of the circle. We were coming out of that place of survival. And now when we come in, our energy is right as soon as we come in. And if it's not, it gets right as soon as we take our place around the fire. I mean, that is growth. That is evolution. And that is the essence of the feminine divine. So with that, if there anything else that anyone would like to speak into the space, Stephanie, you didn't have your say. If there's anything that you'd like to say this morning.
You know, I'm the quiet one and I'm actually getting dressed for work.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Just wanted to give you your time. And so, all right. But I just want to give thanks this morning to Source, to Spirit, like I said, to our own energy, our own Ori. We're so much bigger than these bodies. The feminine energy that we move in may be mirrored by our bodies, but it's not totally defined by our bodies. There's a freedom in the spirit of feminine energy that is beautiful, and it cascades into beautiful collages of hope and love, of service, of gratitude, of tenderness, kindness, of stern discipline, of jarring words that remind us of who we are. It's a beautiful space to grow, to lay and just be covered. It's a beautiful space to speak out boldly your truth and be heard. It's a beautiful place to be silent and absorb and listen, to be seen, to be felt. And it all starts within. The more we love and accept ourselves, the more the circle is enriched. It's the depth of it, the width of it. It's just a good place. The more we reach out, energy does not lie. We can say what we want to say, but it doesn't lie. And as long as we're in these bodies having this experience, there will be a time when each and every one of us will need our sisters. There's no elevating space where you no longer need to be seen or heard or held. I give thanks that I am aware of how fragile and strong and vulnerable and free I am. I'm aware of the women around me who support me and pour into me. I'm aware that I haven't gotten this far by myself. I'm aware that my ancestors, they surround me, the women who have gone on. They've left the best parts of them in me, in my blood, in my experiences. But they've also given me the courage and the permission to shed those things that are not serving me, that they gave in love, that I needed for a moment, and that are no longer necessary for me to flourish. Actually, some of those things are holding me down. So they give me permission as they have evolved out of their bodies and they see more clearly. And they say, baby, let that go. Release yourself of that. Walk in freedom. Everything you touch turns to gold. Create the context of life that you win. Everything is being done for your highest good. If you just hold on, it's beautiful on the other side. Don't sell yourself short. My God, I hear them just like they're right there. I see some of the pain in their eyes when they were here, working it out, walking it out, making choices and decisions in the moment. And I release them for what they didn't know. I release them for where they walked in their pain and they taught out of fear and pain, where they projected their insecurities because they were human beings. And I extend grace. I just pour out just an overflow of love as they went through painful experiences, some that we know and some that we will never know. I just soothe their hearts this morning. I pray for those who have gone on this morning. I give thanks. I pray for the young women who are just starting their journey, just getting onto their legs. Their legs are not strong yet. They have so much to encounter and experience in the making of them and the remembering of going back to who they were originally, the things that they will experience, the heartache, the love, the loss, the disappointments, all of that, along with the joy and just the fulfillment of life, all of it. Life is going to be life, and I pray for them. I pray for their minds. I pray for their heart. I pray for their bodies to stay strong. I pray for them to release all in any weight so that their body doesn't get heavy and their spirits get heavy and weighed down, and they don't develop any dis-ease in their body. I pray freedom of expression and exploration. I pray an openness of self-expression. I carry them on my words. My words I use, my hekau, to build them, to speak life into them, to soothe them. Any young woman that you can think of right now, we send this prayer out to them. Those we know and we don't know. Those that we see on the street, those that are in our families, those that we see in the store. Trying to figure it out. Where do I fit? What is love to me? How do I protect myself? How do I provide for myself? How do I let my guard down and let myself be provided for? How do I position myself? I pray for the new mothers. I pray for the mothers who are in the midst of dealing with difficult situations. I pray for those who are in beautiful, loving, kind relationships, that they can feel safe there, that they can relax and breathe there. They can just be. Pray for those who are in high places, who have so much responsibility, that they make sound choices and decisions, and that they choose to take care of themselves, that they don't leave everything for everyone else and have nothing left for themselves. I pray that they practice self-care daily. I pray for the older women, that they are sitting in soft spaces, enjoying being adored and loved on, cared for, and heard, and they feel beautiful, and they smile often. And when they speak, they depart wisdom. Their voices are velvet. Their hands are strong. And they hold the babies. They hold the women and the men. They hold us. They show us. I just give thanks this morning for this space of affirmation and of love. And with that, I say Ashe,
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 Ashe.
and Ashe.